What's up, everybody? Can you guys hear me? Hopefully I'm live. Awesome. Let's do this. Welcome to the show. This is all meshed up with the Hill Giant and probably Fred at some point, knocking all my shit over here. So, how's it going? How's it going, everybody? Good to see you all. Thanks for coming out. Sorry I wasn't around last week, but I was out of town and actually at an airport when I was supposed to have my show, so it didn't work out too well. Here he is. That's Fred. Hey, buddy. Alright. So, oh, nice Ghost, tuning in from class. Attaboy. Keep paying attention there, big guy. Well, you already got a job now. You don't have to pay attention anymore. So, let's see. What do we got on tap for tonight? So, we got the usual format. I got some mod news to get things started. Bunch of giveaways. We got giveaways from Allison Vapeland, RTD Vapor, Vape Syndicate, and from Boondock Vapes. To hardware, to juice. That should be fun. I'm going to talk a little bit about a stainless steel wick that I've been using. Excuse me. Stainless steel wick that I've been using for a little bit and been having some success with, I have to say. Different from the mesh that most people have been using in Genesis style atomizers. It's actually stainless steel cable. So I gave you a little preview of that on my last show for those of you that have been watching regularly. But we'll talk about that in detail today. I'm also going to talk about a few different devices today. We're going to talk about the Somnium, which is a Genesis style atomizer from Finland. I'm also going to talk about the popular version 2, which comes to us from Korea. And I'm also going to talk about the Hydra V2, which is an all-titanium Genesis style atomizer that comes to us from the Ukraine. So we got quite a bit to talk about tonight. So let's see how many people we got in the room so far. Why don't we get started with a giveaway? Might as well kick things off right? So, first one we're going to do tonight is a giveaway from Alice in Vapeland. The winner of this giveaway, this will be the usual pick a number giveaway. The winner of this one is going to get an 18 milliliter bottle of juice from Alice in Vapeland. Of your flavor choice, nic content choice, and VG/PG ratio that you like. So, let's do this. If those of you who are not familiar with Alice in Vapeland, they are a fantastic juice vendor that makes delicious juices. Very creative, very natural tasting. I find none of their juices are perfumey at all. I think they're all fantastic. Well, I don't think they're all fantastic. Taste is subjective. There's a couple that aren't my favorite, but they have some amazing stuff. So, all right. So we'll start off with we'll pick a number from 1 to 50. So when I say go in chat, I want you all to pick a number from 1 to 50, and closest one is going to win an 18 milliliter bottle of juice from Alice in Vapeland. So. Go. Give it a little more time. You guys got about 5 seconds left, and then I'm going to say stop. So get your last numbers in now. If anybody else has any numbers they want to get in. And we go. Stop. All right. So 1 to 50. Here we go. Let's see what we got. 37. We have a 37. Let's see. I see a 36. 2 36s. 3 36s. Oh man. I don't see any 38s. All right. So we got 3 36s. It's Gavin, Shua, and Ricardo Mon. So all three of you that have a 36, when I say go in chat, you're going to pick a number from 1 to 10. Ready? Go. Alright, let's see what we got. Nine. Alright, Shua, congratulations. You got an 18 milliliter bottle of Allison Vapeland juice coming your way. I'm sending you my email address right now. If you can send an email to me that's got the flavor that you want, the nic content that you want, the PG-BG ratio that you want, and also make sure you send me your shipping address, and I'll send that on to Allison Vapeland. There you go, sir. You just got a PM from me. You'll see it in chat. Let's see. Recommendations for fruity vapes. Well, I really like Zombie Apocalypse, and I really like Twas Brillig. Zombie Apocalypse, I think, is their most popular flavor right now, so you might want to give that one a whirl. It tastes to me like a strawberry shortcake. It's pretty fantastic. So, and I'm not typically a huge fan of bakery style vapes. I usually like fruitier stuff, and this one is just awesome. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, cool. So, let's get started with some mod news. Let's see, what do we got first? Let's talk about the iOS. So we finally got to see some pictures of this guy. There's been chat about this for a little while now. This is the iOS from Mojo, who's the maker of the Chi-U. The Chi-U, if you're not familiar with it, is a really nice mechanical mod that's made by Mojo. He's from Korea. It's available at vaperev.com. You can also get it from Vaporwall, but probably not too much anymore. So we'll throw a link for Vaperev real quick. If you're interested in it, they take phone orders. I do not believe they are selling any of their the mods on their website. I think that might be coming later, but for now they're taking phone orders on devices. That's the Chi-U, though. What I'm talking about is the iOS, which is the all-in-one system. That's what AIOS stands for. That's what this is on the top of the Chi-U in the picture here. Basically, it looks like it's a it's essentially like a redesign of, well, I don't. This is gonna make it sound like it's a copy. It's not. It looks like it's an improvement upon the Cyclone, which is a top-fed Genesis-style atomizer, which, you know, got mixed reviews. I am a big fan of the AMR, the Advanced Mesh Rebuildable from Team Rampage Mods, the guys that make the Atom. I did review that on the show a few weeks ago, the Atom and the AMR. The AMR is really, really good, so I'm hoping that this is as good, if not better, than the AMR. It's not out yet, but we finally got to see some pictures, so I wanted to throw that up there in the mod news. So, thank you for the email, Shua. I'll send that along to Allison Vapeland. So, yeah, the iOS looks pretty cool. We don't have a ton of information about it yet, other than it's Genesis style atomizer, and it's top fed, and it's going to thread directly onto the Chi-U. So I haven't seen anything about whether or not it's going to have a 510 connection. It looks like it's just going to be a direct thread, so it'll turn it into a hybrid, kind of like how the synthesis works from Faceless. So let's see. Nice, thanks, Mr. Clean. Next up, what do we have coming out? So, some more goodies coming from Korea, actually. This, on the left-hand side, is the Televari, which is basically a telescoping body for the Pravari. It's made by Kato, so is the mod directly below it, and the Addy directly below it. I'll talk about those in a sec. The Televari is going to be available fairly soon. I believe he said March. That'll be available on Vaporwall as well. But basically, what that's going to allow you to do is, you know, the Pravari fits into this, and the bottom replaces the bottom of the Pravari, and it allows you to telescope the Pravari and put whatever size battery in it you want. So you can have a Pravari Mini and be able to extend it all the way out to an 18650. It's got some of the same idea as a couple other devices that have come out. One from Kirfanis and one from Siam Mods, and then there's a couple other ones that have come out. But this is the first one I've seen that really replaces the body of the device. So looks pretty cool. Now the mod and atomizer below it, that is the Astro, that's the name of the mod, and the Mercury is the name of the atomizer and, you know, juice system, whatever you want to call it. Not a whole lot of information out there yet. Kato just was talking, you know, didn't really talk about it, just posted some pictures of what he's got coming up soon, and this popped up. It looks to me like it's a telescoping mod, and it looks like the atomizer is going to have a native base that'll thread directly onto the mod, but I don't know for sure. So we'll see. It's kind of up in the air. But looks cool. Kato does some good stuff. We're going to talk about one of Kato's devices later on tonight, actually. So that should be cool. Let's see, what else? The Natural by Smoke Tech. So this is a Chinese-made, mass-produced mechanical mod. It's I use the term telescoping loosely, but it comes with multiple tubes that you can, you know, kind of add on and subtract from the length, so that you can shrink it all the way down to an 18350 and extend it all the way out to, I believe, 18650, but it may actually be 18800, so you could use 18650 with a kick if you wanted to. They are available from Discount Vapors, one of my sponsors, actually. I'm going to throw the link up in chat real quick for those of you that are not familiar with them. You can get them for a pretty reasonable price for a mechanical mod. It's $52.99 from Discount Vapors. It looks like a pretty decent device. You know, as far as the mass-produced stuff goes, Smoke Tech is usually pretty reliable. They've made some decent devices in the past. You know, it's not on par with the type of stuff that we're getting from the you know, the artisan, if you want to call them that, mod makers. I think that's an appropriate term, that are doing, you know, hand lathed stuff and doing, you know, some of the higher end CNC products. But looks like it could be pretty cool, and it's a reasonable price. So let's see. We also have coming out recently the Amp Tank. This is available at Avid Vapor for $135. I don't know, that seems a bit high to me, especially for what you're getting, but it is what it is. There's the link if you want to take it out or check it out, or if you want to buy one. So basically what this is it's an atomizer tank. So it's along the same lines as the reactor tank, if you saw the reactor tank. This is designed a little bit differently, though, and I believe the juice feeds into it kind of like the same way that hi Fred, kind of the same way that the juice feeds into a atomizer when you're using a drip shield, but this is in tank form. So you can see on the left hand side, it's actually got a 510 base on the inside of it. So you know, you actually thread the atomizer into it, into the inside of the tank. So I don't know, I mean, it seems a little steep to me, especially since I think it's all, I mean, I think the tank itself is glass and the rest of it is aluminum. And I don't know, I mean, maybe it's a reasonable price, I'm not really sure. But for something that's not actually rebuildable, and you know, you still have to spend money on the atomizers for it, I don't know. But I've never tried one, so I won't judge a book by its cover. Maybe it's fantastic. I do really like some of the you know, the Cisco Addies, so you know, throw one of those in there. Maybe you'll be good to go. It does have kind of a cool look to it, though. You know, once it's assembled, it basically looks like a cargo tank. But you know, you can see it's got the amp on the base, and it's got kind of a nice look to it, nice bevel on the top. It's pretty clean looking. So, but you know, like I said, at $135 for the kit, that seems a little steep. So, let's see. Let's see. What do we got next? So this is kind of cool. You know, if you're familiar with the devices on the left-hand side, that's a Pravari with a UFS sitting on top of it. So the device that I'm going to talk about is the one that's directly below me, though. That is the UFS to Pravari adapter that's been created by someone named Techno Ambro on the e-cigaretta forum. Not e-cigarette forum. This is the Italian e-cigarette forum, which is a pretty popular forum, actually. I'll post the link in chat. So that little guy directly below me, I'm not sure what the price on that's going to be. There's a list on the e-cigaretta forum, and if you want to check it out, feel free. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a UFS base for your Pravari. Pretty cool. You know, if you've got a Pravari, you've got a GGTS, you've got a UFS. You know, the UFS only fits on the GGTS. Now you can use it on your Pravari. So, pretty cool idea. And the UFS is still a pretty popular juice delivery system. So, you know, now being able to use it on a couple different devices, that's pretty cool. And being able to use it on the Pravari means that you're going to be able to use it on some other devices as well. For example, the Sfomesto mod has the same shaped top as the Pravari. So I actually used to use a Sfomesto with a Z-Addy Pro on top of it, which is designed to fit onto the Pravari. So this would allow you to use it on that as well. So it's not just the Pravari, but anything that's got a similar shaped top and diameter to the Pravari would be able to use that. So let's see. I'm going to take a vape before we keep going. Hold on a sec. No giveaways in the next 5 minutes, Ghost. Go have a vape. But you should stealth it. Just hold it in as long as you can. I might have vaped on a plane earlier this week. So, let's see. What's next? This one's pretty cool. So, this is the Crystal. I know it's kind of tough to see because of the white background, but this is called the Crystal, or Crystal. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. But this is made by Bashik One from the Ukraine. He is on Vaporwall. And he also has his own website, which I'm going to link in chat real quick, called Art of Exhale. I'll tell you what. Just looking at this device, just looking at this atomizer, I'm very excited about it because it has a very similar design to the Hydra, which I'm going to review later on, which is fantastic. So, functionally it looks like it'll be about the same. It's a little bit different design aesthetically. It's a glass exterior rather than the titanium exterior with the sleeve and the recessed tank. So I believe, just from the looks of it, I think with this design it'll have a larger juice capacity. The glass is exposed, which is one negative compared to the Hydra, but I'll talk about that more when I get into the Hydra. But this device is all titanium. I think you can get it with that engraving on there, but I believe it's probably additional, because all of the Hydras I've seen, the picture that he had posted like this had an engraving on it, but all the ones that I've seen in people's hands and the one that I have do not have the engraving on it. So, but yeah, it looks like a nice device. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. So, Bashik's a nice guy too. But anyway, so yeah, that's the crystal. It looks very similar. Here, I'll just show you this real quick. It looks very similar to the Hydra, which we'll talk about a little later on, if it decides to focus. So the difference is, as you can see, that tank is a little taller. It may be a little narrower. I haven't really gotten specific details on the crystal, and it doesn't have the titanium sleeve around it. So, but yeah, I mean, if it performs like the Hydra, I'm definitely on board. And if you're interested in this, by the way, the list is active right now on Vaporwall, so you can go on to Vaporwall, and if you want one, you can put your name on the list. He has a sub forum in the modders forums. I believe the sub forum is called Art of Exhale or Art of the Exhale, and you'll see in there that there is a list for the crystal, which is this little guy right here. So Vaporwall is English. Oh, you mean Art of Exhale? Art of Exhale websites. I would guess it's Russian since he's from the Ukraine. But if you go onto Vaporwall, that's in English. You're gonna want to use Google Translate if you're gonna hit up artofexhale.com. So, all right. So that's all I've got for mod news. Let's see. What do we have next on tap? Let's see. Oh, it looks like Ghost is back. That's good, because we're actually going to do a giveaway. This giveaway is from RTD Vapor. So, now, this giveaway, pretty cool. What we're giving away today is what you can see in the middle here. It is a... Hold on a sec, I gotta switch back over to my schedule. It's an MP1S charger. It's a really good charger. It's got the spacers and functions the same way as the XTAR WP2. But this is designed to be very portable. It's got the car charger, and it's got the cable the USB cable that plugs into both the car charger and also the wall mount, and it's got spacers so you can use 18650, 18500, 18350, any of the smaller diameter batteries as well in there. All of those will fit, and it's nice and compact, so it's a good travel charger. Pretty cool. So let's do this. I'm gonna refresh here, and oh, we're getting a lot more people in the room. Let's go up to, just to be safe, we'll go up to 75. And so when I say go in chat, pick a number from 1 to 75, and if you win, I'm gonna send you a message. Yeah, you did, Rosa. I'm going to send you a message with my email address. Just send me your shipping address in an email response to me, and I'll send that on to Randy over at RTD Vapor. So... Oh. That's nice, Ghost. Alright, I'm going to throw a stop here in 5 seconds. And stop. Oh wow, 3 just in. Oh nice. Stacy's here. What's up, Stacy? So, way to get those in just in time. Let's see who's the winner. So winner's getting the charger, and we got 72. Let's see, 72. I see a 74 and a 70. It looks like 70 from Rosen and 74 from Mac are the 2 closest. So let's do, when I say go in chat, you'll pick a number from 1 to 10, and whoever's closest, we'll get this little fella. We'll refresh here. 1 to 10, and go. Alright, Rosen's a 7. Oh, you're piffing to Rosen. And Rosen, you're piffing to who? To Kimberly. Okay. So Kimberly won. Kimberly, you didn't piff it to somebody else, did you? Oh, you piffed it to Doll. Good lord. Did Doll piff it to somebody else? No, Kimberly didn't win. She piffed it too. Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, that's wonderful. But, oh yeah, we got a loop. Okay. So, somebody's gonna get it. I'm gonna You guys piffed it to each other. So you know what? What are we gonna do? Alright. Mac, Rosen, and Kimberly are 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna let it generate a number from 1 to 3. Let's see what happens. Mac, Rosen, Kimberly. Rosen, you win another charger. You've got my email address, man. Congratulations. Now you got an at-home charger and a travel charger. They're both good chargers by XR. So congratulations. If you still need my email address again, send me a PM, but I think you still have it. Just shoot me your shipping address one more time, and we'll get that sent over to you. So, congratulations. So, let's see. Moving on here. Back to... Alright, so, SS wire rope. Okay, so... This is something that I found out about on ECF. It was talked about a couple months ago, and it was kind of brought back up recently. So there was talk of using wire cable, stainless steel wire cable, for a wick in Genesis style atomizer. That is what I am using right now in this Somnium, is stainless steel cable. Now, the type of cable that they had talked about before on ECF a couple months ago was something different than has been discussed recently. The different types of cable that are being used now are I'm using what's called a 7x7 cable. Basically what it is it's 7 wires twined together into a single cable. They're all twisted around each other. Those 7 wires are all made up of 7 individual wires that are twined together into their own little cable. So it's 7 wire cables. Like I said, that's what I've got in here right now. I'm just going to take a puff just so you can see, how this is performing for me. So that was a good hit. I took a long drag, and this is a 0.8 ohm coil, and I was not tilting it past parallel. I did tilt it some, but I was not tilting it past 3 o'clock. So, and I actually can tilt it less than that. That's just kind of my natural vaping position. It wicks well. I've been using this now for a little while, and I'm pretty impressed, I have to say. So hold on one sec. I just want to grab I gotta grab a roll of this stuff real quick. I forgot to set it out for the show. So here's what some of this stuff looks like. This is it right here. Okay, it is literally wire cable, and I'll hold it up so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, see that? And you can see really close that those individual strands are made up of 7 individual strands each. See if I can get it to focus so you can look down the center of it there a little bit. Yeah, see that? Okay, so there's a few things that I really like about this stuff. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have questions about it. To be honest with you, Ghost, I still have questions about it. So here's the thing. First of all, before I make any recommendations about this, I have done a little bit of research on it, but I'm not going to tell you that is 100% safe. I don't know. Okay, so if you want to try this stuff out, use it at your own risk. I did find one that is not galvanized, and it is also not lubricated. It probably has some oils on it from the machining process, just like stainless steel mesh does. So you do want to torch it to get rid of those chemicals if you're going to use this. Also, it has a very fine nylon strand, almost like a string down the center of it, that I tried to pull out, but you can't really pull out. So what I did was I torched it up and down until it burned off that nylon, which it's very quick. Doesn't take long at all. So I basically did one pass with the butane torch until it glowed orange all the way up and down, and that burned off that nylon down the center. You don't want to vape nylon, obviously. So the cool thing about this stuff is you don't have to roll it, right? I mean, it saves a lot of time. I mean, you know, as you get better and better at rolling stainless steel mesh wicks, you know, it doesn't take a long time once you really get the hang of it, but this you don't have to roll at all. It's already rolled, and it's already stiff too, which makes it really easy to wrap a coil around it. You can't use the Peter K method with this stuff. Well, I guess you technically could, but it would be a pain in the ass, and I'll get into that, and I'll get into why in just a moment. But so it's 7 strands of 7 strands. So it's 7 by 7. Does that make sense? Each one of those cables that are woven around has 7 individual wires in it. So, and I'm going to throw up a link real quick just to show you guys where I got this stuff. It's a little bit confusing. I got it from McMaster, which is an industrial site. You can also get it from Amazon Supply. This is the website where I got it there in chat, from McMaster.com. So, okay, the things that I like about this stuff: one, you don't have to roll it, okay, which is nice. I didn't oxidize it, okay? I just torched it once to get rid of that nylon stuff. I did not oxidize this. The way that I set it up was I took a very small piece of stainless steel mesh, okay? I took a very small piece of stainless steel mesh and I wrapped it around the part where the coil is touching the where the coil is touching the wick, alright? I only took it's a very, very small piece of 500 mesh wick. It was just enough to wrap it around 1.5 times so that it covered the entire cable, okay? The reason why you want to do that is because the way that it's woven and how it spirals, there is going to be space where the coil isn't touching the wick. which is going to lead to it getting hot spots, not shorts, but hot spots, where it's not in touch with the wick, so it gets too hot, and then you get you get that hot, nasty vapor. So that's why you want to wrap a wick or wrap a mesh around it before you wrap the coil. But even the mesh, I didn't oxidize. I just torched it one time to get rid of the machine oil, and then I wrapped it around, and then I made my coil. I pulse fired it a few times just to get the shorts out, and yeah, it's great. It works really well. This is so just so you know, the ones that I ordered were, hold on, I'm actually going to pull the site up myself real quick so I can tell you guys. If you go to that site that I just mentioned, the top section is 316 stainless steel wire rope, okay? The one that I ordered, if you go down to the 7x7 strand core one, the two smallest ones, the 1/16 of an inch and 3/32 of an inch, are the ones that are going to fit in Genesis style atomizer wick holes. The 1/16 of an inch is going to fit in your 2.5 millimeter wick holes, and then the 3/32 of an inch is going to fit in the 3 and the 3.5 millimeter wick holes. This that I'm using in this right here is 3/32 of an inch, which is the middle one. I actually got the larger of the three as well, but I don't think that that's actually going to fit in any of the devices that I have. So that was a bit of a waste of money. Now the minimum length that you can order on those is 25 for the smallest and 10 for the middle one. That's feet, but it's not crazy expensive. Especially that middle one. You can get 10 foot for $6.30. It's 63 cents a foot, so it's actually a lot cheaper than mesh too. The other nice thing is it doesn't gunk up like mesh, because the little piece of mesh that you're wrapping around is what's getting gunked up, so it lasts longer than mesh. Now, the drawbacks that I've found with this stuff, right, Uncle Dagger, exactly. It's non-porous. So here's the thing, it still does wick via capillary action because of the spaces and the way that it's angled. It doesn't wick as far via capillary action. So you can actually fire this without tilting, and it will still it'll still fire and burn up juice. I mean, this is, just so you can see, this has been standing next to me completely upright, and that wick is soaking wet still, okay? I don't know if you can see that, but it is still soaked all the way to the top. So it is actually wicking via capillary action. However, it doesn't wick as far. One thing that I did notice with this is if you let the juice get down below halfway, then you have to start to tilt to get it to wick all the way up the wick. But it wicks really fast. Yes, and I use wire cutters to cut it. That's correct. Yeah, Uncle Dagger, that's exactly, I was actually kind of in awe. I wasn't expecting it to wick via capillary at all. I think it's the way that I think it's the angle of the braid. It's actually kind of channeling it upwards, and the crazy thing about it is how fast it wicks. I have three wrap 28 gauge wire on this, and it's metering at 0.8 ohms. I had originally built this coil at 1.2 ohms, and I had to take a wrap off because this wire rope was over wicking, even with no tilt. It's really, I have to say, I'm very impressed. It's working really well. And it's also wicking via capillary action up the center, because there's one of those 7 coiled strands is running up the center, and there's space in between that and the 6 that surround it as well. So there is actually some decent capillary action going on. Now, like I said, the negative there is it doesn't wick as far up as it will via capillary action on a stainless steel mesh wick. So you kind of have to, you have to tilt it as it gets further and further down. I haven't had to tilt it past 3 o'clock. I've never had to do the drink vape like you see some people do, which I think is silly. But it works really well, and it's really easy to set up. One of the nice things about the fact that it's so stiff, and the fact that you just wrap that little tiny piece of mesh around it, it's really preventing you from wrapping the coil too tight, which is going to cause a lot of the issues that people have with shorts. So you don't have, you can do a pulse fire oxidation, and it works really well. I mean, I got this thing set up in probably like 3 minutes, and this was my first try. I've had this on here for about a week, and it's working fantastic. So I'm gonna take another vape actually. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting good vapor production. I'm getting good flavor from it. I don't notice a difference in the quality of the vape. Like I said, this is it's not something that I don't know, I wouldn't go out and buy a ton of the stuff, just maybe until we find out a little bit more about it. But if you want to test it out, it's not super expensive. I definitely think it's worth trying it out. I don't see there being any health issues with it that you wouldn't have from using stainless steel mesh, because this is untreated. What I've been using, 316, which is the implant grade surgical stainless, which is a little more resistant to corrosion than the 304 grade. It's actually better too because it doesn't conduct electricity as well, 316 stainless. So that'll also have less issues with shorts and hot spots. So yeah, exactly, yeah. McMaster will pop the price up on that, but for now, no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, it really hasn't gotten a lot of traction yet. There's one thread on it over on ECF. There was a thread a couple months ago that didn't really take off. There's another thread that's active right now. That guy Shorty Jacobs that I mentioned. I told him that I was going to mention his name on the show. So I know he's been doing some testing with it as well. But it's it works well. I mean, it's working better than I expected it to be honest with you. I didn't think that it was going to wick as well as it does. The only drawbacks that I've had are, as I mentioned, that it doesn't wick as fast. I'm sorry, it doesn't wick as far. So if you were trying to do a vertical vape when the tank is half full, you're going to get dry hits. But yeah, other than that, works really well. And then it's got that little nylon thread down the center of it that you're going to want to burn off too, because you don't want to vape plastic. So at least I don't want to vape plastic. I wouldn't recommend it touching the bottom of the tank because it does still conduct electricity. That's just going to give you the potential for more shorts. You don't want it to touch the center post on the inside of the tank either. But that's just something that you want to avoid in general with anything that's conductive that you use as a wick. It'll just make your life easier, and you'll have a lot less hot spots and shorts to work out if you don't have it touch the bottom of the tank. It also depends on the tank too. If the tank is stainless steel on the bottom, then I wouldn't have it touched, but if it's not, then you're okay. Yeah, I mean, it vapes well. I'm getting thick vapor, good flavor, so I'm pretty happy with it, I have to say. So, if you guys have any more questions about the stainless steel wire rope, let me know. Oh, Mark, you missed the stainless steel wire rope section, or part of the show. I just finished it up, but we can. If you guys have any questions about it at the end, we can talk about it some more, and I'll answer some questions. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth trying out. I'd recommend it. Yeah, we can talk about it later, Mark. No problem. And you can also watch the replay if you want to, because the replay will be up on YouTube. So, let's see. So, moving on. Next up, I want to talk about the Somnium. Okay, the Somnium's been out for a little bit. The Somnium is the atomizer that I'm using right now. Okay. So, my initial impressions when I first opened the box up. It looks nice. The machining, the quality of the machining is nice. The air hole is right about the size that I like. It's like I think it's a 1.2 millimeter air hole. It looks very clean. It's a nice, clean looking design. It's very tall. It's kind of heavy. I'll show you what the internals look like. It's got a double O-ring in the top cap, or on the diaphragm of the atomizer, which I like. So it fits nice and snug. The design of the internals is pretty clean. It's a single wick hole. Let's see if it'll focus for me. Come on now. Maybe. Come on, you stupid piece of shit. Well, it's got a there it is. It's got a single wick hole, and as you can see, it's got brass knurled screws. So you know it's pretty easy to set up. You know, you don't even need a screwdriver, so it's kind of a good on the go. The top cap, or the positive post, is actually two knurled nuts, I guess, if you want to call them that. It doesn't have a ton of space for the coil, so if you're probably better off using a well, you might be better off using a higher gauge wire on it, just because you don't have a ton of room to work with. The one good thing though is it's got a fat wick hole, so you can make a fat wick, which will also make the length of the wire longer, so you don't necessarily need to use more wraps. But yeah, I mean, it vapes pretty well. The machining's really nice. It looks pretty nice. It looks a lot like the Cobra. Maybe a little too much like the Cobra, but that's just between you and me and everyone else that watches this video, so I guess that's not really a secret. It looks a lot like the Cobra, and I think it's, the 3mm Cobra, or milliliter Cobra, not the 5 milliliter Cobra. That's the size of an Addy, or the size of a mod rather. However, you know, it's a nice clean design. Here's my issue with it. I don't love this. Okay, I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but that's a fucking cavern. The inside of the top cap is just huge. There's so much room in there. I mean, that's a tall top cap, and that is not reduced at all. I mean, that goes all the way up to the top. Okay. So, and what's going to happen with that is it's gonna give the vapor a lot of time to cool off. So you lose a little bit of the sharpness of flavor. And yeah, I mean, that's my biggest gripe about it. The way it's designed, other than that, is nice, even if it's a rehash of another design. But I'm not getting as much flavor as I want to get. And I just FYI, I did use it with a regular stainless steel mesh wick too, just in case the issue with the flavor was actually not because of was actually because of the wire rope that I was using rather than the stainless steel mesh. But it doesn't seem to be the case. I'm getting about the same amount of flavor from both. The bottom, you can see the machining's nice and clean. It's got a adjustable positive pin there that I've got pulled out pretty far. It's a little brass screw that screws into the bottom there, so you can adjust that so that it'll fit flush on your device. I don't think that's really a necessary feature nowadays, since a lot of the mechanical mods, vast majority of the mechanical mods, are coming out with an adjustable positive pin anyway. So, but it's a nice to have. But yeah, I mean, for the amount of money, I think that there are better options out there. It costs 120 euros, and that's before shipping. So if you're going to order this from Finland, then I mean, that seems a little high to me, especially since it is not something that's really you know, what I would consider an artisan atomizer. It's not something, you know, it's something that's being somewhat mass produced. Here's the website though, if you want to take a look. But yeah, I think it's 119.90 euro, which is high. You know, I mean, that's the typical price that you're going to pay for a high-end atomizer. But for that price, I think that there are better options out there. Sorry, Somnium mods, but it's just the way it is. I really wish, if you guys are watching, or maybe you watch this video replay at some point, I think that it's beautifully machined, and I think that it could be a really nice atomizer if you would reduce the top chamber. It's just so, it's a cavern, it's so huge. And maybe reduce the thickness of the metal of the top cap as well, to allow the cap to warm up a little bit, which will help warm the vapor some. That would be my recommendations. Other than that, I do like the design of the device. I think I prefer, this personal preference, I prefer something that's got a tank sleeve, just to prevent you from busting the tank body itself. But yeah, I do still like the iHybrid Addy. I think the synthesis is pretty good. It's not my favorite atomizer, but I do like it. I had some wicking issues with it, but I think it's well made. Let's see. What else to say about this guy? I think that's pretty much it. You know, it's like, you know, there's only so many things that I can say about it. It's another Genesis style atomizer, and it's got a lot of the same features as other devices. There, you know, I mean, at this point in time, you can get things that have adjustable draw. You can get devices that you can set up multiple wicks or U-wick. There's devices with a reduced top chamber. There are devices that are, you know, designed to be, for aesthetic purposes, designed to be a little wider, so that it matches up on your 22mm mod, and, you know, makes it look like a hybrid, which you don't get from this. You know, there's just, you know, it's not blowing my mind. It's a good atomizer. It's better than the stuff that's coming out of China. You know, I mean, it's definitely better than like an AGAT. You don't have to modify it or really screw around with it to get it to work properly. It works great out of the box. It's just not, it's not blowing my mind. But on the positive side, like I said, it's well made. The machining quality is really good, and it's available, and that is actually a pretty big selling point. This isn't something that you're going to have to, you're not going to have to go and put your name on a list and wait 2 months to get a PM with, you know, with payment details, and then wait another 2 months for the thing to ship. You know, you can buy this and it'll ship right away, and you'll get it in less than a week. So, you know, and if it's not available, they become available pretty frequently. So so that is good. I mean, and it is a good atomizer. It's not crap. It's not my favorite. My favorite Addy right now, actually, my favorite Addy, you're going to find out in about 10 minutes, because I'm going to talk about it, and it's a new atomizer, for me anyway. It's the Hydra V2. So we'll get into that in a little bit. My favorite hybrid, right now is probably probably the Juggernaut right now. I think, unless you want to consider the Atom and the Atom and AMR combination. If you want to consider that a hybrid, then I would say that. But I also really like, I really like the iHybrid too. It hits like a train. It's a little airy, but it performs incredibly well. But I'm gonna take another puff off of this, and then we're gonna move on. So this is the Somnium. I linked the website, available at Somnium Mods. It's a good device. I'm not saying it's not a good device. It is a solid device. There are just a couple things that I would change. Reducing the top cap, the inside of the top cap, I think would make a huge difference in improving the flavor. That's really my main gripe about it, is that I don't get as much flavor as I do from some other atomizers. But that may be outweighed, depending on the person, by the availability of it. If you don't have the time to go hunt down stuff on forums and you don't want to overpay for something on classifieds, this is a more readily available atomizer, which is really good. So I'm going to take another puff off of it, and then we'll move on. The GKMF. I actually don't know that one, Uncle Dagger. If you want to shoot me a message, I would actually love to take a look at that. Who makes it? Nice. It sounds pretty good. It's on Vaporwall? Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I'll take a look. I missed that one. Thank you. The GKMF. Alright. I'll check it out. Yeah, dual U-wicks would be kind of awesome, actually. Does it have it has the air holes on opposite sides, so you can line up the two wicks with air holes on both sides? Because I really like that. That's something I like about the stuff Doc Dave does. Yeah, we're actually gonna. It's funny you say that, Relentless. I'm gonna end the show about 5 minutes early because I'm gonna try to buy a Juggernaut as well. So, all right, cool. I'll check that out. So, now moving on. Let's talk about the popular V2. So, this is a device that... Oh no, I'm sorry. Let's not talk about the popular V2. Let's do a giveaway first. I'm going out of order here. I got a cool giveaway for you guys, and I almost skipped it. That would have been terrible. So, if you're not familiar with this guy, there's a fella named Adam, who's got a site called Vape Syndicate. It's vapesyndicate.com. If you're not familiar with this guy, he's doing some really cool stuff. He's just getting his site off the ground. He just launched in January. He's got a couple of really good juices, and he makes some awesome drip tips. That's a picture of a drip tip that he did. He does everything on a lathe, no CNC. Titanium drip tip right there. It's a little titanium shorty. His drip tips are fantastic. I'm actually using one right now on my Hydra. That's one of his drip tips right there. I think it looks awesome. And, well, that one right in the center right there, that, not including the atomizer, just the drip tip, that would be what we're giving away right now. So if you want a sweet-ass titanium drip tip, I would recommend that you pay attention, because we're going to give it away right now. Okay. More people filtering in. That's great. Let's see. We'll do 1 to 75 this time. Yes, sweet ass, exactly. It is a sweet ass drip tip. He makes awesome drip tips. I've got a few of them actually, and he's making a couple more for me. But yeah, and he's an awesome guy too. Great customer service. Just good company to deal with. I highly recommend you check them out. They only have a couple flavors of the juices up right now. He's working on getting some other flavors up, but they're awesome. Throat yogurt, and the names are hilarious, by the way. Throat yogurt and Jungle Fever are two that I've had, and they're both fantastic. But anyway, when I say go in chat, pick a number from 1 to 75, and go. Yes, throat yogurt. That is a real name for one of his juices. Alright. Give it a little more time. Alright, 5 seconds. Okay. Let's see who won. Winner is 66. Let's see if we got a 66. I see I see a 69. 69 and a 63. Two 63s. Okay, we got two 63s and a 69. Man, you guys are not making it easy for me tonight. So we got Bear Acid, Viper, and F Citrolo. So the three of you guys, I want you to pick a number from 1 to 10 when I say go in chat. Let me refresh this real quick. And the winner's going to get this sweet drip tip. So when I say go, alright, that's 2. And I need F Citrolo. I need a number from 1 to 10 from you as well. Don't pick 7. 7's already taken. Pick a different number. Alright, there you go. 3. Let's see what we got. 2. Oh, nice pick. F Citrolo. I'm going to send you a message right now in chat. This is a private message, so only you can see this. And it is my email address. Please send me an email. If you could mention in there that you won the drip tip. And give me your shipping address. I'll send that on to Adam over at Vape Syndicate, and he'll send that over to you. That is a sweet drip tip that you just won. Congratulations. There you go. Yeah, those are really badass drip tips. Alright, awesome. So, now, where were we? Let's get back to talking about the popular, okay? So this is the popular. The popular is made by Kato, who is a modder from Korea. This thing is friggin' shiny, okay? It's a beautiful looking mod. You know, people say it looks like the GGTB. I don't know. I mean, there's only so many ways that you can redesign a metal tube with a button on it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. It looks a little like the GGTB. Great, I don't care. It looks awesome, and the machining quality is really good. And this, when I opened up the package and I got this thing, I had to avert my eyes because it's so fucking shiny. It is made from chrome-plated stainless steel. Okay, super shine. and titanium plated aluminum. Okay, it's anodized titanium plated aluminum. It's got a really nice engraving on there. It says Popular 2, and it's got Kato's logo on there as well. Okay, and it is shiny. It is shiny. The nice thing, the chrome, you know, it's pretty easy to keep it looking nice. You know, it's a fingerprint magnet, but you don't have to. You know, it doesn't have any. It doesn't have any patina building up on it, which is good depending on the material. I personally like the look of patina on brass, but I wouldn't want something like this to dull. This will stay shiny. Hold on a second, let me get my Somnium off of here. It does have a, hold on a sec. It does have an adjustable center pin. You can see that in there, that it's got, you know, it's got a little flathead in there. Okay. If we take this apart, nice smooth threading. This is the other end of the insulated adjustable center pin. Okay. You know, nothing too groundbreaking there. The contacts are brass. Really smooth threading though. The Somnium did have a gap on the Popular a little bit. I actually didn't have it threaded down all the way. I didn't adjust the Somnium all the way up so that I could thread it down as far as I could, but there was still a tiny bit of a gap there. The bottom cap is vented, as you can see. It's got all kinds of nice little holes in there. Delrin insulated brass bottom connection, and the spring itself, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but just judging by the color, I believe it is actually a copper spring, and it is a little soft. So, and that's going to be the one thing that I complain about this mod coming up here in just a minute. So, the switch itself will look very familiar to you if you've seen a GG switch. It's essentially the same thing. One thing that I do like about this versus the way that the GG switch works, this is actually pretty cool. So, hold on a sec. I'm going to put this back in. You know, it's got the little lock ring on there, so you can lock that so you're not firing the button. Okay, see that. I've got that threaded out. The way that you adjust the throw on this, which is a little bit different than the GG stuff, the ring where it connects to the device is also adjustable. That's not the case here. That's with this, it's got kind of a stiff, so it doesn't adjust on its own too much, adjustable button without having to like hold a pair of pliers to it on the other side. So you can actually adjust the throw just by turning the button like this. But it's not, you know, but it's stiff enough that it's not going to turn on you on its own, which I think is really, really cool. So you got, you know, you have a nice adjustable throw on there. So, you know, if you're feeling frisky and you want to push it out really far for some reason, you can change, you know, you can do that. Or if you want it nice and close, which is how I prefer it, you can twist that and then have a really short throw like that, and then, you know, that's firing the device. So I like that about it quite a bit. Oh, day 2. This is, yeah. This, I definitely was not at this point by day 2, so you skipped a few steps watching my show. But welcome anyway, sweetie. So, and I'm calling you sweetie because that's your name in chat, not, you know. So anyway, yeah, I like I like this mod a lot. You know, it's very simple. It has a really clean look. If you want to use something, if you want to use a dripper on here, it's got a really nice sized juice well on the top, and it does have the air vents. So if you want to use you know, if you want to use a dripper on there, you can. If you want to use a cardo tank or something along those lines, like a killer in a trap tank, or you know, something like that, you can. Or if you want to use a Penelope or an Odysseus on here, or a K-Fun, you can. Something where, well, actually the K-Fun isn't applicable, but like a Penelope or an Odysseus, where you have the airflow coming in through the 510 connection, you can, because it's got the air slots for that. That's nice. I personally would probably not use that, so you know, it's not a necessary feature, but it's nice that it's there. And that big well is nice, you know, so you don't have to worry about stuff leaking into the battery. It's sealed really well at the top, so you don't have to worry about juice leaking onto the inside of the mod. And I think it's really classy looking. I mean, you know, when it comes to you know, a typical 510 battery mod, tube mod like this. If it performs well and you're getting minimal voltage drop from it, really the only differences are going to be, you know, personal preference. Do you like a bottom button better? Do you like a side button better? Do you like a, you know, a side button that's up top better? You know, do you want it to be a specific diameter? You know, and all of that is really subjective. So I'm not going to really comment on whether that's good or bad. You know, but I do like a button in this location. I personally prefer a bottom button, but this is kind of my second favorite, because what it allows you to do, having the button here, is it doesn't matter what direction you hold it, you can still fire it, either with the bottom, you know, with your pinky, or, you know, you make a fist around it. That's how I like to fire it. So, and why that's nice is, and the Genesis users will know what I'm talking about, is if you're using a Genesis style atomizer, you're going to want to point the wick hole toward you. So once it's screwed down flush, you don't really have a control over where the button is, and that's why a lot of the Genesis style users are going to prefer a bottom button. But this, I think, is the second best option for a Jenny user. And I like it. It's got a nice clean feel. It's a little clicky, which I kind of like. I sound like Phil DeSardo. I like clicky buttons. But, yeah, and it looks awesome. I really like the look of it. It's got a really nice, classy look. Here's another thing that's awesome about this device, okay? The price is very, very reasonable. This device costs... and I don't know if this is like a one-time only price on this, so don't get pissed off if Kato says it's a little bit more money than this, but I got this from Kato, ordering it through Vaporwall. This was $136, including international shipping and PayPal fees. So it's not cheap, but it's very reasonably priced. For what you're getting, you know, a really well machined, really high quality device, and the performance of it is on par with you know, with other high end devices like you know, the Caravella and the Bear Brass mod and the Chi-Yu, you know, with very minimal voltage drop. It, you know, it conducts electricity very well, and I get very minimal voltage drop on this device. So you know, it hits hard. It looks real nice. I really don't have any complaints about it. I'm really impressed, I have to say. It's well made, well done, Kato. I think you did a damn good job. The only thing now, things that I don't like about it, just to get nitpicky, because I have to do this. This is what I do. So I wish the finish was not chrome. Even though it looks awesome, it's not something that I feel like I can take out on the town and kind of beat up, like I can with like a brushed finish, brass or stainless steel mod, I feel like I can beat that up a little bit, and I don't feel so bad about it. But with chrome, I mean, it's really gonna pick up scratches really easily, which kind of sucks. Don't love that. You know, bottom button, not a bottom button, that's subjective. Personally, I prefer the bottom button. I don't really have an issue with this type of button, though. I like this type of button as well. Oh, I see. There's some. Hold on a sec. I wasn't paying attention to chat. Yeah, but it looks fantastic. I mean, look at how awesome this thing looks. You know, I mean, I don't have the best lighting, but like, just look at the shine on that thing. That's just fantastic. That is a classy looking device, you know. And the top cap and the bottom cap almost look like gold, the way the titanium's anodized. I think that's anodizing. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice. And yeah. It is an aspirant magnet, yeah. So it's a fingerprint magnet. It does pick up scratches pretty easily. I've been really trying to baby it, and I've still picked up a couple little tiny scratches on it, but I've been trying to take really, really good care of it. But shit, it's a nice mod. I mean, for the money, it's tough to beat, you know. It's not my favorite mod of all time, but it's certainly up there, and for the price, it's killer. So, like I said, well done, Kato. I think you did a really good job on this one. Hold on a sec. So, that's all I've got to say about the Popular. Oh, what size tube? This is an 18650. I try to stick to 18650 just because I do like to play around with some... I do like to play around with low ohm sometimes, and I do plan on messing around with... you know, some dual coil setups once I get my steam turbine. So, you know, I want to make sure that it can handle the amps. So I typically stick to 18650. It's also good for the battery life, obviously, too. And I have giant hands, so like using a... I mean, this is an 18650, and it looks pretty small in my hand. I mean, I can cover the whole thing up, so... Oh, thanks, Relentless. Now everybody's gonna go leave the room and leave my show and go buy AC9s. But anyway, AC9's a good addy too, by the way. So anyway, that's it with the Popular. It's a great mod. It should be more, pardon the pun, popular. I'm surprised that there weren't as many orders as I expected to see over on Vaporwall. I don't think that this device is getting the recognition that it deserves, especially for the price. I think it's really cool. So, good job, Kato. Anyway, moving on. So next we're going to talk about the Hydra V2, which I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear about. So, okay. Here's the deal. The Hydra V2, okay? I've got this sitting on top of the Popular right now. And I've got a nice titanium drip tip from Vape Syndicate on top of that right now. Before I start talking about it, I want to take a vape. Hold on a sec. Okay. Guess what, guys? Guess what? I have a new favorite atomizer. How about that? Okay. I like this. I like this more than the Hellfire Mega. I like this more than the Fugatti. I like this more than the AC9. I like this more than the Synthesis. I like this more than the AMR. I'm trying to think of what else I've been using recently. I like this more than other stuff you've seen me review on the show. This is an awesome, awesome atomizer. There is a list over on Vaporwall for it. If anybody is interested in signing up for the list, I think it's still open. I don't know. It's been there for a while. He's kind of working through orders right now. It's vaporwall.com. Be prepared, just so you know, he's from the Ukraine. The fellow that makes this is Bashik1. Bashik1. This is that same link that I linked earlier, the Art of Exhale. He's the guy that makes the crystal that's just come out. It may be easier to get on that list. Looks like it'll perform similar to this device. I think it's got a similar type of top cap on it and everything. I trust him after how this thing performs. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome atomizer. The combination of just everything about this, it wicks incredibly well. And this is something that, you know, a lot of the people in here know, but some of the newer folks may not realize. Wicking is not all about how good you are at making a wick. The design of the atomizer affects the wick as well. The way that the air travels over the wick can help pull juice up the wick. In addition to that, the size of the fill hole where the air is traveling into the tank, you know, replacing the juice as it comes up the wick, that has a great effect on it as well. The way the air circulates through the top cap, it all affects the wicking. Wicks extremely, extremely well. I think it looks cool. It's all titanium. It's got a really nice... It is not 22 millimeter. That's the only thing that I don't like about it. It's not a 22 millimeter. I wish it was so that it could fit flush on some of the other stuff that I have. But it's really not a huge deal. I don't even care. It's so good. It's got a really nice looking tank protector on there. It actually is... It's not... You know, you can actually turn it. It's kind of cool. It fits, as you can see, it fits flush on the popular. There's no gap there. But oh my god, this thing vapes incredible. It wicks incredibly well. It's not super airy. It's on the smaller side of the air holes that I use. I think it's a 1.2 millimeter, which I think is kind of like the ideal size. It's a little tight. It's a little tight, but not too tight. So you get a good... That sounded dirty. Yeah. It's perfect tightness. But it gives you the perfect balance of vapor production and flavor, in my opinion. It's very similar to the way that the Hellfires function. The Hellfires are not gonna get... You're not gonna blow giant, ridiculous plumes of vapor with the Hellfire. You get good vapor production without sacrificing flavor, which is where this is right here. And there's a couple reasons why I think. This is all my opinion. I am not an atomizer designer. I'm not a mod maker, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But here's why I think this works so incredibly well. So there's a couple things about this here. Okay, if we take a look under the top cap, it's got... So you can technically set this up with a dual wick if you want to. So you can see I've got a plug in there. That's where the second wick would go, and that little hole next to it actually doesn't go down all the way to the tank. That's where the second screw would go. And then the large hole on the opposite side there that you see, that is the fill hole. Now there's a little plug that comes with it for that as well, if you want to you know, put something in there to prevent it from leaking while you're traveling around. It comes with this little goodie bag, which contains an extra tank. It contains extra O-rings. It comes with a little piece of mesh, and then you'll see here there's that little plug I was telling you about. Okay, So, okay, so here are a couple reasons why I think this thing is so awesome. One, the top cap is not a cavern. Okay, it's actually pretty tight. I don't know if you can tell just by looking in there, but it's a pretty tight top cap. It's not like a super crazy reduced chamber or anything, but it's a pretty tight top cap. Here is the thing that I've noticed with this device. It gets warm. Not the whole device, but the top cap gets really, really warm really quickly. And that is a product of two things. One, because it's made of titanium, and that will both heat up and cool off faster than stainless steel will. And because it's super thin, the atomizer weighs like almost nothing. I didn't put it on a scale, but it's so incredibly light. The metal is very, very thin. I'm going to take the top cap off again just so you can see just how thin the body of this is, okay? Now, and then, hold on, I'm going to show this to you compared to the Somnium, okay? Take a look at this. Look at the difference in how thick the metal is here, okay? Do you see that? Is that crazy? Look at that, okay? I mean, it's a huge, huge difference. So, it gets really warm really quick. And I'm not, and I'm saying this is a very positive thing, okay? It is not bad that it gets warm. You're not going to burn your finger on it. It does get very, very warm. But what that does is it also warms the vapor in the chamber. Between that and the small size of the cap, you're getting a really warm, really flavorful, really sharp flavored vapor from this device, and it's awesome. The thing just vapes incredibly well, and I mean, you don't even have to tilt it, and it wicks awesome. And I'm using I'm using a pretty low ohm coil on it too. I think I have it at a 0.9. But it does, you know what, it looks cheap because it's so thin, and it looks like it would be flexible, but it's not because it's titanium. So it's actually really durable. I mean, I can't bend this thing. I'm going to take another vape because just talking about it makes me want to vape this thing. But oh my God. We can talk about that later, Relentless. We'll take that offline. I don't want a list of people asking me to buy them Hydras. But this thing is fantastic. So I haven't experienced flavor as crisp and sharp and warm on any other device other than the Hellfire Mini. The Hellfire Mini, the vape on that is exceptional. Just the juice capacity is just too small for me. You know, it's great if you can carry your juice in a syringe around with you, or if you're home. It's awesome. It's amazing vape, but it's just too small a juice capacity for me. But yeah, I mean, it has a decent sized juice capacity. It's about 2.5 milliliter. It's not huge, but it's a good size. What's up? Hey, there's Capone's Pops. How you doing, man? That guy's got a titanium Hydra too. Yeah, a needle tip bottle, that works too. But I mean, yeah, it's phenomenal. This thing is phenomenal. It's absolutely fantastic. I love everything about it. It hits really well. There's very little voltage drop to the atomizer. That was another thing actually about the Somnium that I didn't love. I noticed I got a pretty big voltage drop to the atomizer on the same mod as this, but it's so warm and so sharp and so flavorful, and it's got other things that I like about it as well. You know, it threads down flush on most devices. You know, a lot of that's going to be a product of the mod that you're using it on. It's got the tank protector. I really like that. I really like how snug this fits, okay? It's got, you can see on the inside here, it's got a groove. That's where the O-ring sits, so it pops right in there, and it is not going anywhere. I mean, I can shake the shit out of this thing, and I don't know if you can see like what I'm doing to this, but that top cap is not going anywhere off of this device. It's awesome. It is awesome. If you can get on the list for this, if you can't get on the list for this, try to get on the list for the Crystal, which I think, don't hold me to this, but I think it will perform just as well as this device. Man, Bashik, dude, good job, man. This thing is fantastic. Let me take another vape. God. Oh, man, it's so good. It's so good. You need to get one of these if you can. You need to get one of these. The price on them is pretty reasonable too. I mean, they're not cheap. It's a high-end device, but you know, compared to the price of a Fagati or a Doodlebug, which are over $200 a pop, this guy you can get, I believe, is around $130 for the retail price on this. And you're getting more bang for your buck for sure. I can't think of much that I don't like about this device. I mean, it has adjustable throat hit because it's an O-ring top rather than a screw top. So if you want it to hit a little harder, get a little less vapor, you can misalign it. You can set it up with a dual wick if you want to. Maybe, you know, I wish it had maybe a little bit more juice capacity. If we're really going to get nitpicky, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, like Uncle Dagger said, you know, they manually approve everything over there because they have had major issues with spam in the past, and I totally understand that. It took me almost a month to get approved back in the day, so you know, try to be patient. And Uncle Dagger, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it for you offering to help some of the people in chat out. That's very good of you. What else to say about the Hydra? It's awesome. It's awesome. Everything about it's great. You know, if, like I said before, if I'm gonna get real nitpicky, I wish it was 22 mil diameter so that this would fit flush on a bare brass mod or a Caravella, which as much as I like the Popular a lot, but those are my two favorite mods right now. And I really like the Chiyu as well, although that's not a 22 millimeter. I think it's a 23. Regardless, yeah. The thing is just killer. It's absolutely fantastic. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I really don't have anything else to say about it other than it's just a fantastic device. Bashik really outdid himself, and yeah, it's killer. Just performance-wise, period. And that's really the most important thing. You might not love the look of it. You might think that, you know, the metal looks a little thin and cheap. I personally don't think so because it's titanium. But performance is the most important thing, and this thing outperforms everything else that I've used. So I'm going to take another puff on it, and then we'll move on. Oh, killer. Killer. So let's see, what are we going to talk about next? Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to do another giveaway. This is going to be a juice giveaway from my good friends over at Boondock Vapes, who may or may not be in the room. I don't don't see them in the room. So, Boondock Vapes. I'm gonna talk about this just real quick. So, Boondock Vapes is, still fairly new. I've, mentioned this before. Discovered them at VaporCon. They do juice blends really, really well, and I'm sorry, fruit blends really, really well. And I like a really good fruit blend vape. I really like their mango, and then they have a lot of mixed fruit vapes that are really tasty. I like them. You should check out their website if you're not familiar with them. I'm gonna send here's the website right there. Yeah, you give their mango juice a try. I don't know if hopefully they'll ship to Australia for you, Allegri. I don't know, but yeah, I've tried a couple new ones since the last show. The Pina Colada is really good. Cashmere is really good. Really cool thing that they're doing too with the Cashmere, specifically. I don't remember the specific details of why they're doing it with this one juice, but $1 from every order of Cashmere juice that you buy actually goes to Feed the Hungry. So just pretty cool. I don't know if it's going overseas or if it's in the U.S. Again, I don't know the details of it, but there's some more information on it on their website. So Cashmere is a good one to pick up if you're going to go buy some juice from them. But anyway, the giveaway is actually going to be 4 different flavors in large sample bottles. Not large bottles, but large sample bottles. So there's 6 milliliter sample bottles rather than 3. So it'll be enough for a couple tanks at least each. So 4 flavors. The winner, what you're going to need to do is, I'm going to send you my email address. You're going to need to go to their website, pick out the 4 flavors that you want. Tell me what flavors they are in the email you send to me. Tell me what nic content you want. Tell me if you have a VG-PG ratio preference. And please make sure you put your shipping address in there as well so I can send that on to them. Let's see. Let me pull up let me refresh real quick. Alright, we're going to do 75 again. And when I say go in chat, pick a number from 1 to 75. And go. Time. Five seconds. And stop. Alright, let's see what we got. Winner is 61. Let's see. Anybody close? 56? Is that really the closest? I think so. I don't see any closer to 61. Alright, Kel113, I think you won that one. There's yeah, that was 56 was the closest. Congratulations, Kel. Kel113, I'm going to send you a PM real quick. Like I said, it's going to have my email address in it. And if you can send me an email with the 4 flavors you want from Boondock Vapes, with your nic content, if you have a VG-PG preference, include that in there. And also make sure you give me your shipping address, and I'll send that on to them. They'll get it out pretty quickly for you. So there's my email address. All right, awesome. So, and this is now the part of the show, last 15 minutes or so, where I'm just going to open it up to any questions that anybody has about any of the devices that we talked about any of the other stuff, like the the mod news in the beginning of the segment, the stainless steel wire rope, or cable, depending, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, or we can just shoot the shit about nothing in particular. That will also work too. I'm going to end the show 5 minutes early tonight so everybody can go try to buy a Juggernaut. Sure. Real quick, close-up of the wick. You can see it in the tank here. It's braided wire cable. Hold on. Hopefully it'll give it a second. It'll autofocus. Or maybe it'll just be a douche. There we go. So you can see that braided cable inside there. And then on the top, what I did was I just wrapped a very tiny piece of mesh around where it touches the where the coil touches the wick, so that it would have all of the surface area of the coil touching the wick. Okay. And I'll also show you a close-up of the wire itself. Hold on one sec. The wire itself looks like this. I'll show you a close-up here. This is the cable. It's 7 by 7. It's 7 wires braided together into a strand, and then there are 7 of those that are woven together. Okay? And then and a bunch of information on here about the size and everything. It's 10 feet, blah blah blah. 7 by 7, 7 by 7, 3/32 of an inch, 316 grade stainless steel. And the one from, actually, I sent you the link already. I'm going to post the link again one more time for everybody. It's the ones in the top section here on this website over at McMaster. No, this is not galvanized. You don't want to get galvanized. This is not treated at all. This is just stainless steel. Oh, I didn't see the smiley face. Jesus, dude. That's the last thing I want, is people to leave the show thinking they should be buying galvanized cable and sticking it in their atomizers, you asshole. Yes, no lubricated, no galvanized. Just get the basic stuff. And that's why I ordered this specific one, because I had a tough time finding different sizes on Amazon Supply that weren't galvanized or treated with a lubricant. So what I really want to try is I want to try a 6 by 19, which is 6 small cables, each of which have 19 very fine strands of wire that are woven together. So in theory, you may get better capillary action from that. So I'd like to, if I can find that in a 1/16 or 3/32, I'd like to give that a try. But I did not. So if the SS rope touches the side of the wick hole, why does it matter if it touches the bottom? It's still going to make contact. It doesn't really matter, Greg. It's really just kind of a precautionary. It just will make it makes the chances of you getting shorts and hot spots a little bit smaller, because it is still conductive. So it's not oh my god, it can't touch the bottom of the tank. It's just it'll make your life easier if it's not quite coming in contact with the bottom of the tank. It's more important that it's not touching the center post inside the tank, because that's when you're going to get issues with shorts, because then it's going to be conductive from the atomizer diaphragm to the positive post if it's not insulated properly. So, but that also depends on the design of the atomizer, whether the positive post is insulated through the center or the positive post is insulated around the outside, in which case the center, the exterior of the post inside the tank is going to be positive conductor. So, does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. Hopefully it makes sense out loud too. So, I don't... Is the jug 316? You're right, actually, because they were originally going to make it in 304, and then they changed it to 316. So the Juggernaut does actually hit well. I think it does have some minor voltage drop issues, but I think that those have been corrected with the upgrade. The reason why I haven't reviewed it yet is because, much like I did with the Silver Dog, I do believe in giving the modders kind of the benefit of the doubt, and waiting, you know, if they come out with an upgrade right away, I wait until the upgrade is in my hands and installed before I do a review. So I should be, you know, hopefully I'll be getting a Juggernaut with upgrade kit soon, so, and then I'll be able to do a review of the Jug. But let's see. Oh, Uncle Dagger's talking about it in chat. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What are you I'm not sure what you're talking about, Civic 3-door. Do you mean the wire cable? I just cut it with wire cutters, if that's what you're talking about. I cut it with this. Was a little tough to get through, but it did the trick. No lottery for the Juggernaut. Not for tonight. I don't know how many units they have, but I'm sure they're going to sell it very quickly based on the fact that the number of people that went to their website crashed it last night, so it's going to be interesting. Sorry, not sharks with laser beams. My deepest apologies. Yeah, I do have pretty thick toenails, Uncle Dagger. You should see them. It's pretty crazy. Oh, Frank's here. He might come say hi here in a second. A link to what? The toenail clippers, or a picture of my toenails? Oh, Frank left. He got bored. I thought he was going to jump up and say hi to everybody. Oh well. Oh, the Juggernaut is on 310 Vapors, 310vapors.com. Their website, which is going to get smoked very shortly. That's where it is. Yeah, he does like to show off his butt. Yeah. That's Frank, though. He's the one that usually has to stay locked in the bedroom because he doesn't like to behave, and he'd be in front of the camera for the entire show. So. No, the headphones are just creative. I think they're creative. Hold on. Yeah. Just Sound Blaster. They're It's a wireless kind of gamer headset, so it serves multiple purposes. So you guys have any other questions? We're gonna wrap up the show in about 2 minutes. How long does Vape Syndicate usually take to get to me? Well, it's usually 2 or 3 days. However, the last time he shipped something to me, it took longer than that because it was during the blizzard, so everything was backed up. I think it took like 5 days. Yeah, this is Frank. Come on, say hi. This is Frank. You guys usually see Fred. Fred's the little one. This is his twin brother Frank. Frank's about twice the size of him. So he's a good boy. He's just very needy and would pretty much spend the whole night in front of the camera if we didn't have to lock him in the bedroom. So, all right, buddy. Oh. Yeah, he's a good boy. They're both good cats. They're twin brothers. The other one was the runt of the litter. He's a little tiny thing. So, for those of you who like cats, there you go. Any other questions before we wrap up? I also love black cats. These guys are both black. Yeah, I'm gonna try to buy a Juggernaut. So, I like it a lot, and this is gonna sound terrible. I already have one, but it's technically not for me. So, I promised it to a friend of mine after I reviewed it, after I got the upgrade kit. So, this one is actually gonna be for myself. I don't usually buy many mods for myself. I don't know if you guys realize this, but most of the mods that I buy are actually so that I can show them on this show for your benefit, and then I sell them after I review them so that I can buy more mods to show on the show. I only have a couple that I actually intend to keep. So. Alright, well, thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and hopefully you all learned something, and if you didn't, well, you probably know more than I do, and there's a lot of you that do, so I don't claim to be a guru, just an enthusiast. Yeah, I'm a loudmouth and I like to share my opinions, so that's why I'm here. Alright, thank you guys again. Hope you have a good night, and stay tuned if you want to hang around for Sam. She'll be coming on in just a minute, and yeah, the replay of this show, if there's any of it that you want to catch, will be going up probably within the next couple days on YouTube, and it'll be linked it'll be linked on Vaporwall. It'll be linked on New Vapor. It'll also be linked on Core Vape as well. So if you want to see the replay, you'll be able to find it in one of those spots. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a good night. I am signing off.